he has the surgery on Friday, then he will be cleared like the day, or like the day of that week, the Friday before the game, the first game of the week. So, yeah, I uh, I don't know. I don't know more to say right now. Like, I'm pretty sure that Brock Purdy, I don't know, the injury. We'll see. I don't want to say any more right now, but I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be ready for week 1.
Yeah. Did they say what exact type of surgery he's getting? Because I know I'm assuming it's not Tommy John, because otherwise it would be major
Hey,
headline. There's Beto.
Beto. Word.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Man, it's been a long freaking day.
Okay. And I was just gonna say, so it's not Tommy John surgery, but did they say exactly what type of surgery it is and how long it's exactly
well,
gonna take?
we don't know yet. It's still done on the spot. They're going in expected to do the brace, but if the brace, it doesn't look like the brace will help him much, then they'll assess it at that point and then move to the other surgeries.
Yeah, they really don't know until they get inside the elbow, but all hopes are hoping that because if it's the UCL, it's literally he'd be ready for like somebody said it's like September 10th, something along those lines. So literally,
Yep.
I mean, technically, well, what maybe he's ready. I mean, unless they wait a couple weeks, I mean, he'd still be within the first 3 weeks of the season. He'd be ready to go. I mean, look what happened with Jimmy. Jimmy didn't really do any training this past offseason. He just did a lot of side work. So, yeah, once they know, because if they don't have to blow their wad on freaking spending a bunch on a backup quarterback, and they can, because there's a kind of a list right now going on about like 3 potential quarterbacks that I think they have their eye on, which is a not sexy list, but that list is taking into account if the surgery is successful. You don't want to spend $14 million on a third stringer. So, Beto, what's your thoughts, man? I know you had a busy day and you're tired. The news that it looks like Trey Lance's surgery is Friday, and
Brock
it's going to
Purdy.
happen.
Brock Purdy.
What did I say, Trey Lance? I did it again. Brock Purdy. Thanks.
Yeah, he's having surgery. That's what I heard. He's having surgery this Wednesday, and I guess we're not really going to know a lot until then.
Yeah, they said Wednesday, and then they corrected it to Friday. It was Mike Silver with an inaccurate report.
Oh, it is Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really been following too much about Brock, but I do know is that the Rams are falling apart.
Yeah, they look like they're like pretty much on wholesale. Yeah, I got that as I have that as a topic that we can get to in a bit. Just talking about how the Rams are pretty much they're having a fire sale.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens on Friday when surgery takes place. Once the doctor takes a look at the elbow and sees what he needs to do, we'll get a better idea of where we're at, man. But I just anybody that thinks that Brock is going to be available for camp or the beginning of the season is just wishful thinking at this point. It's going to have to be Trey, and they are going to have to bring a veteran quarterback. And I've been hearing a lot of things from Baker Mayfield to Brissett to.
Can I talk on Baker Mayfield after you're done?
Sure.
Well, that report isn't a report. I brought this up to Raj. He was live streaming talking about this, and was it live or no? It was probably in his channel underneath. He put out the video. I came in later, and I was like, bro, it's not a report. Like Grant Cohn comes out with the thumbnail that says report, right? It's not a report. If you look back, Albert Beer just said, I think the Niners will look into Baker Mayfield. That's his opinion. This is not a report. There was no sources. You know what I mean? This is essentially somebody like you and I speculating who just has a bigger outlet to work with. You know what I mean? So that, and to the point where somebody, comes out like Raj was talking about, and now you got somebody else talking about, oh, there's a lot of news going around about Baker Mayfield over there in the Bay Area. And it's like, okay, so is that a source, or are you just commenting on what was just happened by somebody's opinion? So in other words, is this just an echo chamber that's just got started? You know what I mean? So I'd watch things, verify sources. You know what I mean? If somebody's got a source whether it's a, if they're claiming who the source is or it's an undisclosed source, you know what I mean? Some people will use anonymity. I just think if there's a
It
source,
was Albert Breer that said
Yeah.
it, so I trust him.
no, it was his opinion. He's not a part to any team. You know what I'm saying? He's
But he has connections.
My whole
But
thing
he-
was I think the 49ers have.
He's
They-
not
it-
saying that the connections told him anything. He's just saying he thought that the 49ers would look at a Baker Mayfield. If you read the article, it says it. What happened is that somebody tagged a line saying the 49ers are looking into Baker Mayfield, which made everybody take everything and go, oh, the 49ers are looking into Baker Mayfield. It was just misworded. Everybody ran with it.
So he went with like, okay, if all goes well with Brock, here's the kind of this is the type of backup they might be going for. Don't look
It's not
at
far fetched because they wanted him. They wanted him
Last
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted him this year, but the Rams took him and
They
swi-
didn't
him
even
away.
put a claim in on him. So
they
there
were
you
out of the
go.
pecking order. They
Who
were out
said
of the
they did
pecking
it?
order.
They did.
There was no chance they could have gotten him.
They did.
Who-
It's
I
been
never heard
reported.
of John Lynch and Kyle. Oh, they said
Yeah,
that after the fact.
John Lynch
Why?
said it.
Because he was already taken. But doesn't
But they
mean
didn't know he was taken at that point. You don't know until you put in your claim, they do the thing the next day, then you figure it out, whether you get him or not.
trust
so if
me,
you want
John
him at all,
Lynch
you have
and
to
Kyle
put in a
Shanahan
claim.
knew.
They
They
didn't
knew.
put in a claim. They might
No.
look. The only way I think that might have been happened, they might have been thinking that Jimmy G was coming back, so they didn't, but they didn't put in a claim.
And this is because they said so. You know how many bullshit lies that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have said?
Okay. All right.
Come on, guys, let's keep it friendly here.
No, I'm just saying. No,
I
we're
know.
not.
No,
fighting.
you're-
We're-
no,
we're
you're
just
right, though.
debating.
you don't
Nobody's fighting here.
Baker, you good?
keep it in the private chat.
Remember when Bosa said that? Baker.
All right, I want to say hi to the chat real quick
If you want to
because
see fighting, you should have seen Ryan and
Out of the chat.
Brian.
Out of the chat.
Brian last night. Don't worry, we kissed and made up. I asked him how
Hmm.
he's doing this morning, sir. How
that
you
was
doing
fun
this
to
morning,
watch.
sir? He said great. He
Hey.
was talking about, he hit me back about, what was it, Frank Clark? Did he put me up on that? There's something hold on. Yeah, we good now. We good. We were good
got,
before the end of the stream.
we got Raphael 562 in the chat. What is going on, Raph? You're always in here, always supporting. I appreciate it.
You got an earthquake there, Aaron? Looks like your house is
Sorry, my big fat knee hit the desk. East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Thank you for coming through as always. Much appreciated. Brandon, my half Sicilian brother from
Brandon?
another mother. What's going on, my man? Brian Culp. After the storm of yesterday, he is in here. Thank you for being a good dude. Ryan, of course, is up in the chat. We got Laura Cat. Thank you for coming through. We very much
up?
appreciate it.
We've got 20
Uh,
people watching and only 8 likes.
20
That's- I
people
get it.
watching a fucking viewer.
Amateur
Yep,
Draft
so-
Scout. I don't know. Is this your channel name? Because if it is, I might have to go check it out. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it very much.
There's a guy that might be Steve-O. I don't know if it's Steve-O. It says allegedly Steve-O.
T. Johnson. He says, "What are your thoughts on maybe signing Floyd if he's released by the Rams?" We're going to get to that, but I appreciate you asking.
Do you guys,
Um,
anytime you see somebody subscribe to you that sounds like they've got a channel, do you guys go back and subscribe?
I do. I do.
too.
I do.
I did it to the one guy that does like the weed and beer stuff all the time. Forget his name. He comes in
Aaron
here.
just
Who
straight
says?
edge, just like, screw it. We need to take
Who's the
care of
I'm a
this.
beer
straight
guy.
edge guy, but I like watching people smoke up.
But you didn't want to watch Half Baked when I told you to watch Half Baked.
Oh, bro, you got to watch
That's
that.
a movie, dude.
You gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
It's
Allegedly,
referenced,
Steve-O
like,
is
so
in
many
here. He says, "My
times.
sources tell me we're not drafted in the first round." Thank you. We very much appreciate your sources coming through.
All right, Aaron.
my
next time we
gosh.
do a show, you're
What-
gonna give us your review on Half Baked.
I got
Okay.
a question. For
Probably
Steve-O.
not, but all right, go ahead.
Hey, Steve-O, what position group? Last night, that's all I asked. I asked him the question. He's like, "Well, can we?" This I said, "What position group?" He said, "Well, can you do this?" I can't do it by that. What position group? Oh, so why didn't you just say that in the beginning? I was like, "You bastard!" I kept on saying, "What position group?"
So I want to get your guys' opinion on Carr going to the Saints. Big, huge deal. And what it means for Jimmy. I know Beto could care less what it means for Jimmy, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to
James.
Beto. I'm gonna go to Beto first. Beto, what's your thoughts on Jimmy? Now that this Carr signing to the Saints has happened, do you? I know you don't care where he goes.
No, not
But-
really. But I think he's leaning more and more towards Las Vegas, teaming up with his old coordinator up there in Vegas. I don't know what New Orleans is doing, man. They're in salary cap hell, and they just signed Derek Carr to a 4-year, $105 million with $70 million guaranteed. It's like they're losing players as well. I don't know what they're doing up there, but I guess in that division, there's no quarterback. I mean, Tampa doesn't have a quarterback now. Panthers don't have really a quarterback, and the Falcons don't have one. So by default, by having the best quarterback in that division, can almost guarantee you win the division. So I see why they did it. But Jimmy, as long as he doesn't come back to the Niners and suit up for the Niners, he can go play for the XFL for all I care.
Beto, I saw a report today that it was from last August, right? And somebody retweeted it, and like people were losing their mind, including myself. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Until I clicked on it and it said like August 2020 something or whatever, whatever the date was. And I was like, whoo, because people were spazzing. They're like, this is my worst nightmare coming true. And I'm like, no. And I'm looking at it and it was like a quoted tweet. So of course I went to the actual tweet. Oh my God, man. I was like, they signed that a-hole again to come back to this team. Like, no way. So yeah, it wasn't real.
Yeah, Niner fans can relax this year because just Jimmy's going to demand anywhere between 25 to 30 million.
Yeah.
And the Niners are not going to pay him not that amount of money to be the backup. He's not the future. It's either going to be Brock or Trey. So they're not going to give him. So it's a completely different circumstances from the last 2 years. So Jimmy is gone.
Bash, any thoughts on the Carr signing and what it means for Mr. James Garoppolo?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought Carr was a bad quarterback. I thought he was pretty good at one point.
I don't think he's bad either. To tell you the truth.
I thought for the longest time, I always thought he was better than Jimmy. He kind of fell off a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out with him in New Orleans. I'm not sure how it's going to work actually. But as far as Jimmy going to the Raiders, I kind of saw that coming. I mean, it's not set in stone yet. Hasn't happened, but everybody's speculating. But the whole connection with him and McDaniels but the funny thing is, it's like Devontae Adams has always had a quarterback that could air it out deep, and now if Jimmy does go there, he's going to have a dink and dunk quarterback, and not sure how that's going to work with Devontae if he's going to be a happy camper or not. Who knows? Maybe he'll want out and demand a trade. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but hey, man, I think it's quite fitting for Jimmy to go with the Raiders. I never liked the Raiders. Jimmy fell out of favor with me quite some time ago. I'm going to be very diplomatic in terms of the way I say that. And yeah, sure. Hey, he can go to freaking Las Vegas and try to win with no defense over there and see how many games he wins over there, man. I'll be more than happy to see that.
What's funny about that whole situation is you notice how he has to go to a team that's completely loaded on offense. Like
they just franchised Jacobs.
Did they just franchise? Yeah, okay. Well, the one of the other rumors right now is
I'm not.
It's either going to be it's. I saw that. I saw that there was a rumor between the Jets and the Packers where where Rodgers is going to go.
Well,
settle down, guys.
We know that the Jets told Carr, we really like you, but our first take is Aaron Rodgers. We really appreciate you.
We have a boner for Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately,
we got to see where he goes first.
No.
He's like, cool. I want to figure my stuff out now, and they're like, we totally understand, bro. You know what I mean? So they went on their way. I was saying thank you because she liked the video after I asked everybody to do so.
I'm kidding.
Calm down, in the private chat, y'all.
Look,
I always thought that somebody had to defend themselves just because it's probably true.
I don't even know who she is.
None of us know who she is.
Right. I'm sitting here in Washington. She's probably states away. Who cares? We'll never see each other. I'm not trying to.
Now you're being rude.
I'm just being nice. I was
all
saying,
right, guys. The awkward meter is going way, way up right now.
People are watching another stream with a weird random
name. They're like, what is happening right now?
So they went from Derek Carr to somebody living out of state. That's
if
the
I
Derek
was
Carr's going.
if I was Jimmy, I would just call up Giselle and tell her that I could be the stay-at-home dad that you've always wanted.
I can be your hero, baby. Yeah.
I could be your hero, baby. Yeah, I could be the stay-at-home dad
She
that you
probably
always
wouldn't
wanted.
mind it. You go younger.
That's what I'm saying. You're probably going to get more money. More money than playing football. You're going to stay pretty.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Jimmy's gonna
saying?
get more money. Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy's going to get more money being
I thought you
Giselle's.
said Giselle. I'm like,
That's what-
no, she's.
I think he could just be an underwear model and just end his career. Like, dude, you're way too
No.
pretty to be an NFL player.
Baby,
Jimmy
I'm
can go
Jimmy.
up in the booth just like Mark Sanchez, his buddy, his good friend Mark Sanchez, and they can both do the same exact thing.
You know,
and
you
be
know what?
friends
You're
and
right. He
talk
probably
about it.
will go to the booth just because of his chin.
Yeah, he's got a
Right.
very sexy chin. Even for a guy, I can admit it. His
Well,
chin's
I don't
pretty
know
nice.
about. I don't know about.
Speaks
no,
very
no, about you
diplomat-
and Jimmy's chin there,
diplomatically.
Aaron.
Yeah, I don't care where he goes.
What's happening?
It's wherever he's going, it's going to be fun to watch, I think.
Whoa, what the heck?
Yeah.
I
So
don't
he's
know who
offering
you...
some promotion.
Oh,
Oh.
this is somebody from Twitch.
we
I went
gotta
off
go.
on-
Oh, often they're. That's why I don't
Oh
like
my
Twitch that much.
gosh.
Oh, yeah, what's up, Payo Time? Welcome, brother.
What's going on, Peo? Hey, Peo, we got a topic. We're probably going to hit it. You know what? We'll hit it right now. We're going to
Hit it
move off to
hard.
Jimmy. My question to you, Peo, since you're a Rams fan, and I was going to ask the chat: are the Rams in a rebuild? I know you did a stream earlier. No, I'm not trying to be funny.
I
I'm
He's not
trying
gonna
tweeted
admit
him.
to it.
I tweeted and asked him that. Is it a rebuild yet?
Because they went for it. They went for it, and they got their chip. Whether 49er fans, we want to be bitter about it or not, and I'm very bitter about it. They got their Super Bowl. We haven't yet. So
But at what cost?
that's how you can look at it. Are they? I don't know if it was Pale that said this. Are they gearing up to make a move on somebody that we're not thinking about, and that's why they're clearing up cap space?
No, they're
Or
clearing out
are-
cap
or
space
are they
because they're owed
going-
too much money?
Right, but look
Who's
at the
gonna
Saints.
help
They have
him?
the
Who's gonna
Saints
help
have
him after
the
they clear
Saints.
all those people.
The Saints have no money too, and they just, like you said, they just signed a quarterback. So he said, haha, literally my phone blew up the last 48 hours about the Rams. So here is my take. Go right ahead, homie.
Go ahead. Payo time.
I love Peo.
Hit it up.
Yeah,
He was
did
in
too.
my neck of the woods, man, and I had a gimpy knee, and I could not meet up with him.
He's everybody's
Why don't-
best friend, but I don't even know
Hey,
the guy. But I'm not saying he's a bad
Why
guy,
don't you
don't
just
know
drop him a link and have him come in and talk about it?
Peo, would you like to come in and talk about the
him.
Rams?
I don't
a little
want to
bit?
talk about the Rams, but no
Yeah.
offense to Payo.
He's really down to earth when it comes to, like my friend Rudy that gets a little exaggerated there, Mr. Ramilia. Pale's really down to earth. He'll tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear, and I can respect that from Pale.
I mean, they a lot of the players that they're moving off of, a lot of them are aged veterans that they signed specifically to get that championship, and they got it. Other than Bobby
Ramsey?
Wagner. Bobby
Oh,
Wagner wasn't there the year they won it, but they had what's his name who went to the Bills. He got his chip. And of course, Jalen Ramsey, Stafford,
Von Miller.
Cooper, all
Yeah.
those guys, they got their championship. Now, I don't want to ever discount the Rams because they think they have a really good coach, but we'll see, man. It's the NFC West. This is why the 49ers cannot biff up this quarterback situation. You might be in a situation where you could run this division for a couple of years. There's no excuse. The Cardinals are falling apart. The Rams could be in a rebuild. Seattle, they just re-signed what's his face at
Geno
quarterback.
Smith.
Geno Smith.
So I mean,
And wait, real quick on the Seahawks. Look at how they ran the division almost for a decade.
right.
If
Watch
you
out for the
make-
Seahawks. They have a lot of draft picks, man. Don't count that team out.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing too shabby last year. Their
No, they
defense,
weren't.
their
They had a good
defense
draft.
came to play in that playoff game.
They're just a couple of pieces away, and now they have the arsenal to get them. If they hit on those picks, whoa, watch out.
Peo says the
Man, they
Rams
didn't-
offense was horrible last year. And I think the Rams are doing whatever it takes to fix that. I do think They are quick to. I do think they are quick to move on from mistakes. They are sure retooling. Yeah, I mean their offense.
sure.
Their offense was pretty bad last year. I must say, I was used to them scoring 45 points in shootouts with the Chiefs, and now they could barely score 21 last year. So
they're going to fix their offense, which is smart, to protect Matthew Stafford, but they're going to be losing key components in the defense, meaning they're not going to be able to stop anybody. They lost already Von Miller last year. They're losing Wagner. They're losing most likely their corner Ramsey.
Right.
So
Floyd
and
looks
also
like
what's his name?
Floyd.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd. So
if I were the Niners, I'd pick up someone like Floyd.
They're going to have to put up a lot of points if they're going to compete, because their offense is not going to be able to stop anybody. I mean, their defense.
But why would they have gotten rid of Wagner if they still have to pay him from now until 2026? I just didn't get that at all.
Because it would have cost them more if they would have kept him post June 1st.
That's weird because they're still going to be paying him.
Yeah, the den money. Yeah,
Hale says a lot of the moves the Rams are making seem to be building a swing turnaround for 2024. Yeah, so the Rams could be essentially calling this coming season kind of a wash, and then go for
Matthew Stafford?
It's a good question. He was hurting last year. I know his elbow was bothering him for a while. Didn't he get concussed at the end of the season last year? Really bad.
I don't know.
He got hurt at the end and. Go ahead.
That's my major thing. Like, if they were going to make a run for 2024, I don't think they can do it without having Stafford. You know what I mean? Because to retool your team through draft and, free agency.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Going and trying to find another lights out quarterback is going to be tough, and it's going to be costly. You know what I mean? So I think.
Stafford had a spinal injury last year. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why
I don't.
It was spinal. I broke my back.
Spinal.
It's so.
And it hurt a lot.
And the concussion by that also happened. Peo, question to you. What's been the where are we here?
My name is Peo. Don't call me Peo.
Do you know the situation as far as his spine injury and the concussion? How is he looking in the off season right now? Like, does it look like he's going to be ready to go for like mini camps and stuff? Or are the Rams still kind of up in the air? It's interesting to know because they're part of our division. That affects us if they're.
No, you're right. People should know. Niner fans should know 3 teams in particular: the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the Rams.
That's what a lot of people say to me. They're like, "You don't really follow. Your channel's not really an NFL channel." I said, "No, it's pretty much an NFC West channel because we play each of those teams 2 times a year, and it affects our playoff season."
Know who your enemy is. Know how they're doing, so you have an idea how your team is going to play against them.
Yeah, the Niners had a really good year last year in that division, and they could this year, but it'll all man.
We don't even know who quarterback is right now.
Right, we don't even know where our quarterback is. If it is Trey Lance needs to step up. No excuses.
I have a feeling our biggest obstacle is going to be the Seahawks.
I still think that too. They do scare. Well, then as long as their coach Pete Carroll is there, there'll always be a worry for them.
They got a great running back and the young kid, and now they have their Geno Smith tied in for 3 years.
They were
got
in
2
a
good receivers.
They were in a rebuild before the draft, and by the time the season started, and they were about halfway through, it looked like a retool. You know what I mean?
Tommy Huxley's in there.
Tommy Huxley.
The latest report, he says that he was shut down at the right time and healing his health, and he's healthy. He'll be ready for the camp. Cool. That's good. I don't want to face you guys if you got a quarterback that's not quite right. That's why go ahead, Rep. Go ahead, boss.
The issue with spine stuff sometimes never goes away. It just lingers. It'll go away a little bit and then it'll flare back up. That's the only thing. Spine stuff. There's so much that goes on with the spine that
you're preaching that to me, brother. I've been dealing with that since 97.
Right.
There's one guy that knows more than anybody.
T11 spinal cord injury. Yeah. You're absolutely right. You have your good days and your bad days, and it can flare it up real fast.
Peo asks, who's the starting quarterback for the Niners week 1?
Trey motherfucking Lance.
Trey Lance. That's not a question right now.
CMC.
Christian McCaffrey. No, Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, yeah.
Oh God.
Unless the 49ers bring in some kind of like a really good quarterback, you know what I mean? And there's a competition. They went out Trey Lance. Trey Lance is you could probably go to Vegas and put money on that. You know what I mean?
There's a report going
telling you
around
to.
right now that Tom Brady maybe is interested in going to the Miami Dolphins. And somebody in Twitter, I went there because somebody on Twitter underneath that caption said, "Let's watch 49er fans lose their minds now." I didn't lose my mind, but
why? I don't want Brady.
Brady is like Brett Favre, man. I retired, unretired, retired, unretired. It's like
he's got
Well,
nothing
your-
else
your-
going on. His wife
Your
left
brother's
him.
a Dolphins fan, so what was he thinking?
My brother will probably be like, "I don't want him.
still
He's-
old,
they're
man.
set up. They're
He's
set up for a
old." It's
left-handed
exactly what
quarterback.
Jared. That's exactly what Jared would say. I don't want him. He's old. Yes, my brother
set
really
up for a
does sound
left-hand-
like that.
I thought you said your brother sounded like Ray Romano.
He does, but with a it's more gravelly. It's almost like he's got marbles and he's yeah.
Bring him on the show.
Miami set up for
invited him,
a
he doesn't
left-handed
wanna.
quarterback.
They are set up
And
for a
at
left-handed
that-
quarterback.
And Tua had how many concussions last year? Now, do you think
Too many.
Tom, I'm really smart at football. Brady is like, yeah, let me go to the place that's set up for a left-handed quarterback, and that he got so many concussions, he really wasn't able to finish the season.
You want to hear a really interesting story? My nephew finally admitted yesterday. We were talking. He came over. We were talking about there was an NFL quarterback. No, not an NFL quarterback. There's is Warren Sapp talking about how he felt bad about injuring Jerry Rice, right? And they were talking about how physical the game was back in the day. I told my nephew, and he admitted, I said, Montana was knocked out of 2 NFC championship games by the Giants. I said, don't think for a second that people back then weren't hunting and trying to hurt people to win games.
Oh,
And
back then, yeah.
And my nephew's like, you know what? I totally agree. He's like, it was like the Wild West back then. Like he never,
Yeah, it was.
I was like, listen, Montana, I said, you don't understand how good Joe Montana was. I said, but if he was in an era like this where you don't touch, my nephew said it, that's why you can't touch quarterbacks anymore. I said, they used to freaking tee off on the guy, and he wasn't a big guy to begin with. So it was weird. He's never really admitted that. And all of a sudden yesterday, he's like, yeah, he was pretty physical era. I'm like, you think?
Well, the Eagles found a way to circumvent that.
What is the 49ers fans' current feelings towards Kyle? I know there were a lot of criticism last season. Just wondering. Thanks for the question. Yes, go ahead.
It's up
We
and
love
down with our record. It goes with
Kyle-
the record, bro.
Kyle's attitude, like Beto says, Kyle's arrogance sometimes is really off-putting.
But he's still better than Sean McVay, though.
Yes. Pale's like, I could challenge that, but no. Listen, man,
You beat them 7 times out of 1, and I know they can say, well, we won the one that count. But I mean, you got to eventually lose one, when you keep playing. But 7 times in a row, you outsmart that coach. And this one in the championship, we lost by what? 3 points?
3 points.
Yeah. No, Kyle's smarter.
My feeling is this.
But I'm not
Kyle is
Dale.
the modern age. He is the modern age Andy Reid right now. He's getting close. He's getting his cracks. He lacks one thing that Andy Reid has right now.
And Reed's wife.
Yes.
I mean,
and
quarterback.
and Andy Reid's cheeseburgers. No,
Yeah.
he's got a real quarterback, like an actual real like
He
legend.
has the
era.
best quarterback.
Yeah, he's got the best quarterback in the NFL right now, hands down. You could say whatever you want. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's really good. He ain't Patrick Mahomes. Sorry. And Josh Allen,
I'll
Bills
still
fans.
take him, though.
Oh, I love Joe Burrow.
Josh
still
Allen
take
regular
him in a
season is
heartbeat.
great, but we don't know about him in the playoffs.
Josh Allen to me is, my brother said, and I know I'm bringing up my brother again, and if you don't like it, tough shit.
There you go. There you go.
That's his brother.
Yeah, so get off my ass. He said that Josh Allen is becoming, what's his name? The quarterback that used to play for the Panthers.
Oh, Cam Newton?
He said he's becoming the modern day Cam
Oh.
Newton. That's what he
Scam
thought.
Newton.
Yeah. So
I'd still rather have Joe Burrow just because of his swag. You know that
I love his
fucking-
swag. He's so cocky.
it's not. He's got that Joe Montana. We're gonna just go out and fucking do this. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Like
matter.
when
what
Montana beat the
odds are.
Cowboys, and they said you just beat America's team, and he told one of the players on the Cowboys you could sit at home with the rest of America and watch the Super Bowl. That's what he said after he threw that touchdown pass.
I like Joko too.
I just think that when you are a person and you can sit there and go, nothing that anybody says negative really means anything until I allow it to. You know what I mean? Because you can listen to someone tell you you're going to lose all the time, but if you block that out, don't listen to it and focus on what your task is at hand. You know what I mean? Nothing that they say means anything because you could totally prove it wrong real easy. You know what I mean? So, and I think I love that about him. And he never quits, and he could make those plays. Like he's like one of those guys that he gets on the right team, or they give him the right team, and he can win a Super Bowl real easy because when it comes down to it, he can make stuff happen. He's not scared about getting a sack. He's like, whatever, I know that if I get a sack,
He plays
down.
behind a pretty shoddy offensive line too.
Yeah, and it's something to be said that there's a lot of good quarterbacks that go to a really shitty offensive lines and they learn a lot of bad habits. And to me, it doesn't seem like he's learning a lot of bad habits. He's got all those good habits still, and what happens is his good habits get him sacks because he's standing in there like he's supposed to, surveying the field, and then he a little bit too late, and he's got to run, and then he gets sacked. You know what I mean? So that's what I see it out of him. The moment they give him a better line, they'll give him more time. He'll be nasty.
Dude, T. Higgins is freaking dumb good.
Unfortunately, he'll be gone.
Question for your let's move the needle here to another topic. Robbie Gould. It looks a lot from a lot of different sources that he's played his last down with the 49ers. Some people are saying it might not be the case. It's more of a 50-50 situation, depending on who you talk to, a la Barrows and Mayoka. I have a hard time following the combine, and I have to get into it soon if I can call myself a content creator who actually knows what he's talking about. But I know there's a kicker that everybody wants. So I guess my question.
Moody.
So my question, I'm gonna start with Bash. I like your little thing first. Bash, what's
I know how you saw it. Look.
I can't get 20 people a fucking viewer. Bash, what's your take? Resign Gold or go for the big leg young college kicker?
Wait,
don't
real
spend
quick.
all that.
Real quick. When are we drafting him? So I was thinking to get him, we probably definitely might have to get him in the 4th or the 5th. So I think
as long as they draft them, I really could care less where they draft them. As long as they don't draft them like with their
No,
first,
they'll get him in the
pick.
5th or 6th.
I don't know, because a lot of people are. Remember, he's the one guy in this draft that's that good, and like there's kickers that go in the 4th when it's that good kicker. People are like, I don't need much. Like if the Buffalo
Cowboys
Bills,
need a kicker too, so they might take.
Well, let
him.
me see what Bash has to say, and then we'll kick it around the can.
Yeah, we're literally kicking. No, you don't spend all that money on a kicker. I mean, that one kick that Gold made for us against the Packers, that's the one big playoff kick he made for us. But other than that, like, I think this offense is pretty much primed and set to score points and get touchdowns, and where the kicker is just kind of doesn't really mean much to our team. That's how I look at it. I'd rather have a younger, stronger leg kicker for much cheaper. I'm not paying a kicker $5 million a season. I don't know what kind of money Gould's really, really demanding, but I was hearing if you franchise tag him, that would be the case. I'm not franchise tagging
for a franchise tag.
Yeah,
he's old, and kickoffs have been atrocious this last couple of years.
Yeah, I want a kicker that can kick real kickoffs, and if we draft a kicker, I want it in round 7.
Listen, we have a 5th round pick. If he's around in the 5th round, Moody, I say take him.
Why are you guys so stuck on Moody? What's so special about him? I keep hearing his name thrown around.
It's like the best college kicker out there. He's kind of like the only sure thing as far as kicker.
60-yarder makes it look like he can do it in his sleep.
He's young, man.
Remember last year that punt god came out? What was his name?
I heard
the one with the
Azari's or
Bills.
his eyes. I hear he got cleared and he can now get picked up.
Oh, really? We should. Oh man, I wouldn't mind getting that guy. I know we got Wisnowski, but that guy was sick, dude.
Oh.
But you know, hey,
I don't think
Oh,
I don't think
still,
Wisnowski's
Robbie
that
just
great.
poor Robbie. I like Wisnowski though.
just because he
Young
got cleared
Montana, you
doesn't
read
mean
my
he's
mind.
innocent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
you
don't
read
know.
my mind, Young Montana. We need a Sebastian Janikowski type kicker. Yeah, I think it's time. Why not? Right? People don't understand how important it is to have a good kicker and the kickoffs to get better because their kickoff. Listen, we spent all that money on special teams this past year, and I thought our kickoff coverage was pretty bad at times this year. Still,
I still want to kick it to them, so they got to return it every now and then, depending on who the person is. You know what I'm saying?
well, at least get
But
some
other
hang
times,
time on it. Jeez Louise, what's up with the line drives? You know,
like the Eagles, I didn't want to kick it to the Eagles. The Cowboys, I didn't want to kick it to the Cowboys. You know, there's certain teams though, like in the regular season, I want to kick it to them on the 1 yard line, the 3 yard line. You know what I mean? I want them right there because I want them to fumble it. You know what I mean? I want them to return it. I want to knock it out. You know, because there's some guys that aren't as good with the ball. With protection. So I want to let them run with it a little bit.
Gold was accurate, but he had limited range. And he says, great minds think alike. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And he said, yeah, our kickoff was a huge concern. He had fatigue. Yeah, you could tell that's because Janikowski, that's what really gets to me. He's a punter, but he can't do kickoff duties because it affects his leg. And yet at times he doesn't look that impressive. So
did you ever hear Pat McAfee talk about doing onside kicks?
Mm-mm.
He said it was really painful.
Painful?
Yeah, it was painful to do the kicks because you're like stubbing your toe into the ground kind of to do it, I guess.
I did not know that.
To do it right, I guess it's kind of painful.
Oh, it looks like the easiest fucking kick to possibly make. It looks like the
one
most
where
lazy
you're
kick you could possibly do.
I don't know. He told me like the way you like. Well, he didn't tell me, but in the
Told
show
you.
he was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say like, oh shit.
We have connections.
yeah, we were sitting down having a beer. It was right before he jumped in the canal. You know what I mean? No, he was talking about it. It was pretty interesting to know because he was talking about his whole experience with with 3 onside kicks in a year. The one he recovered by himself. That was amazing, dude. That's amazing stuff. Kicking the ball to yourself and recovering it.
So Beto, are you did I ask you already what your thoughts on the kicker? If you would go draft or go free agency or keep Gold, what would you like?
It's hard because I wouldn't want to keep Gold at the price that he wants to get paid.
Right. I don't either.
When it comes to kickers, age doesn't really. It's not a really big factor unless it's Gold because he does love to tackle. most kickers, but
that little beanhead needs to stay off the field when he's tackling.
He has not missed to this day. He has not missed a field goal in the playoffs. Robbie Gold, and he's a for sure thing. And I forgot somebody put a stat of how many kicks he made for us and how many he made. It was incredible of what he's done. So I would love to bring him back, but not with the franchise tag and not at that amount. So I guess we're going to have to go younger. And that guy Jake Moody is pretty good in college, but doesn't always transcend to the NFL. So what you have in Robbie. You don't know what you're getting in the young kicker. So it's always.
I think the Niners should insulate themselves and maybe sign a free agent.
There's not that many out there, though.
Yeah, I know.
Bryant Culp saw the same thing about Pat McAfee talking about it hurting to kick the onside kicks. Just so you know, it's in the comments.
That's interesting. No Border Sports says Bashar is a kickist.
He said Damian Lee said Bashar really doesn't like kickers, so I was like,
no, he doesn't. He's kickist.
Yeah,
Let's look at this. And Brian Culp has some statistics for us. He said in 6 seasons with the 49ers, Gold converted 161 of 184 field goal attempts for an 87.5% percentage, and 379 out of 383 extra point attempts, 99%. Pretty good.
Yeah,
considering he's got a haggard old leg.
From the Cowboys, Brent Maher can be our new kicker.
But also
That's a good way to.
That's from like 45 yards. You know what I mean? That if he was being tested regularly, he wouldn't have such a great average. You know, if he was being tested,
Mhm.
you know, like 55 yarders, 50 yarders, you know what I mean? It might not have the same numbers. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just saying that, hey, on everything he's attempted, that's his accuracy. So, you know what I mean? If there's times they probably wanted to kick and it's outside of his range, and that changed the play. You know what I mean? That changed the call. So I just want to point that
It
out.
just means our offense is pretty damn good. It gets us close enough for him to kick way below 50 or 60. So they can get him to that 40, 30-yard attempt for the most part.
And I'm not knocking him, because I'd rather have somebody that I can tell you, I just got to get within 45 yards, and that guy 87.5% of the time is going to knock it through the uprights. I'm down with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we touched on this before, but I want to touch on it again. 49ers realistic QB options. The three that are being bandied about are Brissett, Mayfield, Dalton, and possibly Matt Ryan here. I know those don't sound like sexy picks or sexy, quarterbacks to pick, but this is all in response to if the surgery and everything is good. That's the kind of level of quarterback 49er fans should expect. I know a lot of people, including myself, are like, yeah, let's get Mariota or let's get Heineke or this guy or that guy. They're all going to cost more money because they've started in the NFL. So you have to be realistic. This is a third quarterback
trending upwards
that if all goes well, this guy's going to be inactive most of the season until the playoffs if they change the rule. So why are you blowing a bunch of money on a guy that you hope doesn't play? Why would you want to have a guy like Mariota at $14 million a year, where you could spend money on, a right tackle in free agency, or maybe you double dip on a couple of lower end pass rushers to bring in instead of maybe going for the bigger name, go for Justin Houston and, I don't know, someone who's a little less an Arden Key or something like that, What are your guys' thoughts on these quarterbacks? Are you okay, or you think that's a bunch of balagna?
I'm scared
Is
we're
it
going to
Matt
get
Ryan?
Matt Ryan. Yeah.
Matt Ryan, and who else? Who were the other names you brought up?
Jacoby Brissett.
Mayfield, Dalton.
I'll take Mayfield because he's younger and he's got better athleticism than all those other guys.
Oh my God.
I want a younger guy with more athleticism.
Damian Lee. Bring in Phillips, Rivers. He needs money. He has 11 kids.
No.
Yeah, I heard there was interest that he contacted the Niners.
He turned him down. Philip Rivers.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're getting Matt Ryan, because I think it'll be like a prove it incentive heavy deal.
Yeah, but you hope he never plays because he is shot.
Oh my God. I just think it's
Beto, nice profile pick.
Got a lot prettier.
I'm a Burnett fan. You know
How you doing?
I like brunettes too. I like blondes. I mean, hey,
Beto,
I'm not gonna
your OnlyFans page.
What I'm really worried about is the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna want all my attention and we can't have a conversation, like that's gonna be, well, not all the attention. You know what I mean? But women like to be around their man and this and that. If we can't have that's the real big issue. Like attracted enough just to to cuddle, but the personality like that's
Tommy Huxley. Mariota to the Niners confirmed. I better not be. Brian Culp agrees with you, Ryan. He's kissing up. He says, I feel like we're too young. I think we're getting Matt Ryan also. What is this, Bashar? Is this your latest?
That's on mock draft. I want to show you guys really quick because I tweeted out. I did a whole bunch of mock drafts and I had them all tweeted on my Twitter. There's tons of other ones that I did that were never tweeted out, but today I tweeted one out because it was the first one I did where I drafted a kicker, and I was like, I just went to it. I was like, who was the kicker that I drafted? I know I drafted a kicker in round 7, and lo and behold, according to PFF, they had Jake Moody lingering around in the 7th round at our very last pick, so I picked him up, and I totally forgot that I had picked him. But I guess you got slated to go in the 4th round or 5th round or something, or
he ain't going to be around in the 7th round.
He's not
Yeah,
going
I
to be
don't
around
know.
in 7th round.
And,
He's the
and according to, really quick, there's that list that that Stephanie and all those guys put out, and all those people at the combine put out of all the players that the Niners met up with. So far, they've only met up with one kicker, Christopher Dunn from North Carolina State, whoever he is. So
they don't always
Yeah.
just go off of who they meet with.
yeah,
They
I
like
know.
to
I'm
mess
just
with
throwing
things.
that out there.
Also, I don't think you're going to be able to get Sam Laporta in the 3rd round, and that edge you drafted. I don't know if that's a guy that actually works in our system. I keep seeing him around here, and every time
my
I
pick. Yeah,
look
it's
at him,
based off of what I pick. It was high on the list at the time. That's kind of just what I go off of. Yeah.
So I totally get you there, but start looking around at the guys and figure out like the body types, because after the first 100 you can't get the description of them that tells more about the player, but you can get the height and the body weight, and that'll kind of give you more, because some of the ends are outside linebackers. You know what I mean?
I saw that too.
Yeah. So it's weird.
And what I do sometimes I'll see the names, I'll just pull them up, their names up on other websites or on YouTube just to get an idea. But it's fun. Hey, who was that other picture that you had up there, Beto? You had some other
Oh, she's like the most beautiful girl in the world. Joy Taylor.
Is she from this? Oh, okay.
Oh, bro, no, she tall. She
I don't
got
like
nice
Joy
long
Taylor.
legs. Put
She
your right
is
leg
fine.
over my shoulder. Put your left leg over my shoulder.
I don't think there's no prettier girl than her.
I think we're gonna lose some effing viewers. But
Well, we already did. It's down to 12.
I wasn't counting.
People ain't watching us tonight. They got all the bigwigs stream.
It's all Steve-O's fault. He said something about last time he did this and he got you views, and then he stopped doing it and he doesn't get you views anymore or something. He said something.
That's
Oh,
okay.
I got 25 viewers on my channel. I'm not even on there. What? I'm joking. Who cares what other content creators have, brother? We're having fun. That's all that matters.
So there's a report going around that Samson Ebukam is going to be too expensive, that he's looking for a pretty big deal.
Bye-bye.
With that being said, we have a list. I have it here. I don't know. So here are some of the list of defensive or edge rushers.
Do you want me to share the site?
It's from Dave Lombardi.
Oh, because I can show you the free agency list, and we can even go down their expected.
Well, this is like literally he put this up at about 8:42 tonight. So
The cap?
Dave Lombardi, all the edge players are going to be available.
Oh, the edge. Our cap went up too. I mean,
Yeah, I'm getting to that too.
oh, are you? Okay, my bad.
We got the third most cap in the league right now.
Yeah, after it's been adjusted. So Frank Clark, Bud Dupree, Leonard Floyd, they're all expected to be released. Then you have Marcus Davenport, Yannick Ngakwe, Charles Omenihu, Samson Ebukam, Arden Key, Davian Clowney, Brandon Graham, Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston. If I'm the Niners, I'd rather double dip on two guys than blow load on one guy. I would go Justin Houston and maybe someone in Ingram.
Houston's still good despite his age. He's still, productive.
Why not double dip on two proven guys, then go after one, and then if whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think? Go ahead.
I like that idea. I'd rather have rotation pieces to keep them fresh. You know what I mean? Instead of keeping Bosa out there all the time. Imagine being able to just throw those two out there, have Bosa chilling. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Eric Armstead. Like you could. There's more.
And hoping Drake Jackson kicks it up a notch next year, and then all of a sudden you have like a second line that could rush
a total second line that could do some crazy stuff.
You could say, all right, I'm going to take Bosa out, and I'm going to put in Justin Houston, or I'm going to take Bosa out and I'm going to put in Melvin Ingram across from Drake Jackson. Just mix it up.
You might be able to put all four of those guys on the line at the same time.
Oh, and the NASCAR package when we're trying to rush the quarterback. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I totally.
Bosa could play inside. You know what I mean? And I'm sure one of the Ingram. I'm sure Ingram or Houston could play inside also for one down. You know what I mean? And then Drake Jackson's going to have to be on the outside. But yeah, that could be a nasty.
What do you think there, Beto?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
We're talking edge rushers right now.
Oh, edge rushers.
Miro.
He was
I'll
saying
bring-
instead of blowing his load on one, how about we double dip and get a couple
Yeah,
consistent?
Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram are available.
I'm tired of the couple though. I want a difference maker.
So you
like-
go for a Frank Clark if the Niners could afford him.
Oh, I don't
I
like
would
him.
too. I would. Yeah, I don't like him either, but he can play football.
Yeah.
God, he can play football.
He's a
He's
bad
a-
example for me.
he's
'cause I
a-
really don't like him, but
He's a badass person though. Like on football field, he's a bully.
he's a beast.
And I the Niners.
We
They
need a
just
guy
have
like
him
that on our team. We need
Can we just
somebody
have
like
Yeah,
him
we-
show up on Sunday and like he
That's
doesn't
it.
even show up? You know, this
Insulate
and that in
him,
the locker room.
insulate him, follow him around with people so he doesn't make mistakes.
Doesn't
He
need to
is
practice.
he could be our Charles Haley. Charles
Yeah,
Haley was a
a-hole.
he was a head case, right? He was always getting into fights and stuff, but he was a beast on the football field. So
We just
I
got to
like
make
it.
sure he doesn't have any Uzis. You know what
the
I mean?
guy
Like,
from
Frank Clark.
the Commanders, not the one that put the French tag on him, but the other guy, Hargrave. I like him. He had
Hargrave's
11
from Eagles.
sacks last year. He's not going to demand too much. He's a D tackle that can play inside next to
Damian Lee.
Eric
you're-
Armstead and
I thought
between
Hard-
Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa, and then hopefully
thought
Jackson
Hargrave was
steps
gonna-
up this year.
So,
ask for more than that. I thought he was up there.
No,
want a
he's-
nose tackle that's as big as Lizzo.
hey Lizzo, do you have a brother that plays football? We need to sign him to be our nose tackle.
no,
Careful,
oh.
you're body shaming.
He's
The
gonna
Minnesota
retire somewhere
Vikings.
around 15.
He plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm.
Don't you remember that song? Because in the song she had the
What
Minnesota
song?
Vikings. Her big hit that blew up.
The one that where she does that stupid rap in it, like that one.
No.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Lizzo. I don't know the
That
names of her
freaking
songs.
700-pound freaking singer
Whoa.
that everybody loves.
She's awesome. She's awesome. She get down. She's cool.
Did you just say 700-pound lizard?
Did call her 700-pound.
It's a singer named
Lizzo.
Lizzo. We were saying
Oh,
that we
Lizzo.
need
Her name's
at least
Lizzo.
Oh, that's her
we need a
name.
nose tackle the size of her, basically.
You know the Mucinex monster? She kind of looks like that. Sorry.
That is so. I am not, just to keep this around, I am not in that conversation. So
I'm not co-signing on any of this.
Rated
Guys,
me neither.
JP.
Guys, I'm just joking.
yeah, you don't want to joke about.
I'm
people's
trying to
lives.
have-
Nobody's watching
I'm
anyway, so who
200
cares?
Yeah, nobody's watching. I'm 280 pounds, guys.
So
I
that
should be
makes it okay to talk
220.
like that because nobody's watching.
Oh,
that
we're
makes
just
no
playing.
sense.
I'm trying to be a dick.
I'm just
That's all.
saying it doesn't make sense just because nobody's watching.
I
If you said it, you meant it. Period.
yeah, I guess so.
I just personally, I don't think I don't use the word ugly for like looks because I think that has to do with personality. I think that I can't call somebody essentially ugly because somebody's going to find somebody that loves them and thinks they're beautiful. So to
Yeah.
me, you know what I mean? Like when it comes, plus like if you can't tell, I'm not the
Tommy Huxley.
the slenderest of folk.
It's okay.
Well, it's
That's
not
the only
that, it's
reason
just-
I can. That's when I make comments. That's because I'm a big person.
You're good.
So I'm not
I'm
trying to
just
come
letting
at
you know-
it. I'm not trying to come at it as a 200-pound guy with 2% body fat who's like hating on somebody because they're fat. I'm fat too. So if somebody says you're fat, I'd be like,
Is she really
"You're-"
700?
No, but she's quite large.
So then you
so
were clowning on her.
He was
She's large.
exaggerating.
It was Jadavion Clowney on her.
I was just
Yeah.
Davion clowning on. Young Montana. What the heck is this coming from? Jimmy G is handsome, but I can't stand the guy. We're talking about Lizzo right now. Okay. Damian Lee says I'm 185. You lucky bastard.
Wow.
I was 185 pounds when I was like 27 years old.
Wow. 27. I was probably in freaking first year junior high if I was lucky. I don't know.
185, probably when I was 6 months old.
I wrestled at 179 pounds. So
I did score.
but later on in life, the BMI told me I needed to be 180 pounds, and when I got down to
Yeah.
220, it looked like I was doing drugs, and my face sucked in. and
yes,
you could see
my nephew
and I was just
looking
working
up.
out.
He was looking up body mass index and all this stuff. He's like, well, it's 6'3", you should be. And he was like, it was like 100 and 79 or something. And I'm like,
No.
that's never happening. He's like, well, if you're all muscle, you'll look heavier. I'm like, no, I won't.
Those are those Leave
No.
It to Beaver body charts that he's looking at, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's
like,
body is different.
Yeah,
Everybody's body's
if I
different,
if I'm 220 compared to what I'm right now, if I'm at 220 and I'm still a little soft, I'll take it over where I'm at right now. A lot of where I'm at right now is that I haven't been able to do anything because of my knee for about 3.5, 4 months. So
What's
Here we
up,
go,
because
here
when
we
I
go.
got down to 220, when I got down
Go ahead.
to 20, people were trying to start fights with me.
yeah, because all of a sudden you're a skinny guy.
But back
Yeah.
to the Niners. David McNider brought up a D tackle. I don't know if you guys know about this guy. Flash on the screen though.
His name is Brodick Martin, defensive tackle, Western Kentucky, 6'5", 337 pounds.
Yeah, bring that guy in. As David McNider would say, he's thicker than a Snicker.
I'm good. I'm good. As long as he can move heaven and earth and not be moved.
Yeah, like Kinlaw.
Who's that?
Yeah.
That guard that's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. That's the one. Have you ever heard that one? The guy's at jail. He's got his jumpsuit on. He's like, "Where's that guard who's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal?"
Never heard of it before.
Oh, it's great. Check it out.
Hey, I want to ask you guys this: if you guys have Netflix, Chris Rock has some comedy special that.
Oh, I
Everyone's
saw it.
watching it.
I didn't
I
see it
saw
yet, so
it.
don't spoil it for me. I'm about to watch it tonight.
No, I didn't see that. I
Oh,
only
let's-
saw the
let-
part that I needed
I'm
to
gonna
watch.
watch it tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Don't spoil nothing.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
watch it
I'm just
tonight.
saying.
Yeah.
I only needed to watch one part.
Don't read the
So,
comments, Bashar. Don't read the comments. I just put something about it. The show.
Shit.
I'm kidding.
He makes
Um,
he makes
so-
a joke about Will Smith.
I only watched 30 minutes of it and then I fell asleep last night, so I'm going to finish it watching it today. But I heard the last 10
I heard
minutes.
somebody
the
else
best.
complain about it.
Laura Cat says she wants a Snickers bar now. Boom, boom.
Oh, see, she,
You're 100
she's working on that figure.
You're
Yeah,
100
you guys
She's
make
working
it-
on that figure.
Jeez.
Brian Cope said he wanted to try my pizza. So hey, if you got plenty of room to try pizza, if you're only 170
Yeah, you
pounds,
definitely. I was 130. I was 100 in high school. I weighed about 140 pounds. I was 140 pounds in high
Bashar,
school.
What if you
That's why I got
made
tossed
a
around.
pizza and did the kebabs as a topping?
Ew.
I don't know if that would work.
Grill
I done it
the
with
what?
shawarma. If you know what that is, it worked really good. Worked really well. I did it with that and it worked
What?
really well.
And anchovies pizza.
I made some.
great.
If you know what shawarma is, I've used shawarma
Shawarma.
as a pizza topping, and it
Yeah,
really
but-
came out really well.
Take the meat kebabs, break that up on top of the pizza with
Kinda
maybe
like
like
sausage?
a pesto or something else.
You could.
Yeah,
I would've put
yeah,
pesto on it.
exactly.
No way. No. I would've put
Pesto's
pesto.
disgusting. I hate pesto.
Well, oh, pesto's really good if you do it right. But I'm sure you could pair it with something that
Oh, somebody's
in the
requesting
culture,
from
you know what I
Bashar to
mean,
make
that
a
go with
pizza.
it.
I think we need to do a drawing one day, and if the winner of that random drawing, I make them pizza. I don't know. I'm getting way too many.
Laura
requests.
Cat saying make her a pizza, Bashar.
I don't
yeah,
know if
she
it
wants
would-
a pizza. Laura Cat wants a pizza.
I
Hey,
think
Bashar.
I'd
tell
actually
you
wear
what.
something.
I'm gonna get a bowl. Everybody message me, and I'm gonna just write people's name and put it in the bowl, and I'll draw the name, and then Bashar can cook me a pizza. I mean, them a pizza.
Real quick, allegedly Steve-O, $5 super chat. He says, if you couldn't care less and you don't care at all, you can't care less. Wouldn't it be, huh? Okay, let me try this again.
Wouldn't it be like
If you couldn't care
more?
less and you don't care at all, you can't care less. Wouldn't it be I could care more? I don't even smoke.
It messed it up because he didn't put a comma.
My brain doesn't work. Oh, she likes pineapple pizza. Unpopular opinion. Yeah, you just lost points with me.
Hawaiian
Sorry.
pizza.
Oh, that's
I
a
don't mind
Hawaiian
that.
pizza.
I'm good.
Cook her a pizza
It's
with
not
the
my favorite,
candlelight
though, but
dinner
either.
on the beach. See, now Mariah's talking. Mariah's talking my kind of life.
Right.
That's if I'm gonna have a date with a girl, it's on the beach, but we're having
Real
pizza.
quick,
And chicken.
Mariah,
We're having pizza and chicken wings, man. That's just where it's
Light,
going.
light color or dark wine with that pizza at the beach? Red wine or
Depends on the pizza. Depends on the sauce. If you're gonna have a red sauce, I think you got to go with the red wine. If you got a white sauce, you got to go with the white wine.
Red wine.
wouldn't you do
And
that the
then-
opposite?
Depending on the topping. No,
Stay
depending on the
close to
topping, you
me.
would probably
Sorry.
what kind of bread or white.
And I love Hawaiian. I love Hawaiian. I love pineapple and ham.
Red wine do make me feel so
Oh,
fine.
cool.
But my
Feels
favorite
so
pizza is
fine.
anchovies.
I just want pineapple on just any pizza, but you know what I mean? If we're doing a Hawaiian pizza, put the pineapple on there. Yeah, because that's how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? I don't even like
Yeah.
red sauce. You know what I mean? But if it's a Hawaiian
love
pizza,
red
we're
sauce.
putting the red sauce, the ham, and the pineapple. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
All right. We got 2 ladies in the chat that like pineapple on pizza. I feel officially attacked right now.
I love pineapple Hawaiian.
Here we
pineapple.
I
go.
like
ham.
it. It's just not my main choice. It's like number 4 for me, maybe.
She says she likes beer with pizza. Listen, I'm straight edge. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So if I'm gonna have pizza, I love soda with pizza. I love carbonation after I've had like
Coke and pizza go great together. They go hand in hand.
extra sauce.
Laura,
Yes,
do
I
you
am
eat
an
your
extra
crust?
sauce guy.
I like Coronas with crab legs, but not pizza.
Crab legs. I haven't had
Laura,
that since
do
I
you
went to
have
the
crab
Bellagio
legs
and
with
Las
or
Vegas.
Coronas?
do you
Oh,
leave
yeah.
them
Right.
Or the Asian
on the
Cajun.
plate?
Brian Culp says he loves pizza. Brian, this is a body by pizza. Okay.
That's a Sicilian raised body.
This is my mom is full blood, born in Sicily. The pizza that they made over there, actually, listen, the pizza that they made over there is not like the pizza we have over here. It's more of a bruschetta topping.
Tommy
It's not.
Huxley's an idiot.
It's not. It's like a diced
I've seen it.
tomatoes.
It looks different. I've
It's
seen it.
not red sauce. So yeah.
That's funny shit. You see what Tommy put?
You know why?
I
What did
like
Tommy-
cocaine. I like cocaine and pizza
Oh,
together.
wow. The truth comes
Hey,
out.
whatever. He's got a mirror next to him. Couple.
Funny shit, Tommy. I bet you Tommy's never done drugs in his life.
You know why
Costco
pizza
still
is
hasn't
so
brought
popular?
back their combo pizza slice. It's COVID and it's pissed me off.
And
I've heard.
Costco
I've
pizza
heard.
sucks, though. You don't want their pizza. Come on.
I heard
now.
it was really good.
It's not.
Do you-
No.
Do you know how pizza got popular in America?
Stoners.
World War II. Same thing
Yeah,
with
when they
OJ.
came
Yeah.
back from Italy. I've
It
seen
wasn't around. It wasn't even on the West Coast until like the 1950s.
Yeah. And it was a whole bunch of GIs that were like, man, I could really kill for a piece of pie. And then they started making it. And then people were like, hey, you make pies? Yeah. And they're like, you should open up a joint. And then next thing you know, there was a whole bunch of joints going around. It's kind of like teriyaki. You know what I mean? Like teriyaki was one of the ways where Asian immigrants
Of
were
course.
able, they were like taught how to make the stuff. And then they opened up a restaurant, you know, kind of like the Chinese food. Like Chinese food isn't what they cook over there in China. But
No.
when the immigrants would come here, they would learn the recipes, and the recipes was like, hey, these people eat this stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is how you
Yep.
can make money. Cook it like this, and then they go on the way.
My mother
funny
makes the
how-
best meatballs in the world.
Mm,
3
I
meats:
like a good meatball.
veal, beef, and what else does she use? Pork.
Pork?
I think it's veal meat. They're tender, like they don't fall apart, but they're not like the key to a good meatball is not using a ton of eggs. The more eggs you use, the denser the meatball. You want to go very light on the eggs. People think, well, it's moisture. No, it's like putting scrambled eggs essentially in your freaking meatballs, and you make them dense. So you want not too much. You want to overmix. She partially cooks them, and then she cooks them the rest of the way in the sauce. I'm telling you, dude, you don't even have to be Italian, and you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest meatball of all time. So
So she cooks them al dente in the oven.
she cooks them a little bit in the oven, and then finishes them off in the sauce.
It's like al dente, right? You know,
Or does she cook them straight in the sauce? I forget. All I know is they cook
Oh.
in the sauce at some point.
I'm pretty sure she cooks them off first and then tosses them in the salad.
Yeah, you don't want to put the raw meat in sauce.
No,
Someone's
not
yelling at
without
me.
the outside. Not without the
You don't
Aztec
wanna
says
put your
that's a
balls on
spicy
raw sauce."
meatball. My mom makes really good sauce too. My mom's sauce is more acidic. My Nona sauce was very, very sweet.
You want
don't
to
really-
caress her first before you put the balls in the sauce.
I'm not going to even touch that. We can't talk about big people, but we can talk about putting balls inside of sauce. See, it doesn't.
Oh man,
It
we gotta
doesn't
stop
make
this
any
food
sense.
conversation, guys.
All
Sauce
right.
doesn't get offended.
Anyways,
the
there was
the
a.
balls want to be in the sauce. That's how
There wa-
they finish. That's how they
Yeah.
finish. You said
Anyway.
it yourself.
They do. They finish very well in the sauce. There is a report going around that Jesse Bates could be a target for the 49ers at safety, which makes not a lot of sense considering the talk that Tayshaun Gibson might return. Have you guys seen anything about Jesse Bates to the 49ers?
I heard it from
I haven't seen anything.
from Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward was talking about the nickel situation and all that today.
Mariah, I don't like meatballs in my house.
Yeah.
You got it too, Ryan. I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm guessing they don't like meatloafs either. You know, no smoked bologna chuds.
Smoked bologna. Oh my
Haven't you
god, it's
seen that?
bologna.
Oh,
You know what you do if you
No.
want to remove paint out of someone's car? You put
Yeah.
a piece of bologna on it, and it'll take the paint right off.
well, you
Had a
need
friend-
sun. You can't do it here in
Yeah, and it's got to be out in the sun, right?
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, put a piece of bologna on someone's car in the heat of the summer, and
The
that
oils.
paint's coming off.
The oils
Don't
will
give me
cook
any
and strip it.
ideas.
I seen it happen. I seen it
Yeah.
happen. Remember that Bashar, or excuse me, Beto off camera. Remember that big guy I told you that said he would kick people's ass for me when I was in high school?
Yeah.
Big old dude. That stupid friend of mine did that to his mom's car.
Wow. What?
Oh,
And that's
his
why
mom's
he
car?
that's
What the
yeah,
hell?
it's so that's why he would like fight people for me, but he wanted to kick that little scrawny punk's ass.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He'd fight. He tried to defend you, but then he'd mess his own
Yeah,
mom's car up. Doesn't
well,
make
no,
sense.
because me and my friend growing up, my friend was like this little scrawny guy who was kind of a big mouth, right? Well, the dude who I met years later on the bus, it was the same guy, not the guy, the punk ass friend. This guy was huge, and he used to like say that, you know, if anybody messed with me, because back then I was a little scrawny guy. He was the son of the mom that got the bologna put on her car. So he hated my friend, the little guy, for that because he put the bologna on the car.
Yeah,
I
if
didn't
it
know
takes
that
off
it-
your paint, I would be pissed too. man.
Yeah. He's like, let's do it. I'm like, nah, dude. And he did it anyway. So
I got a question. Hey, Mariah. Look, I know it seems like you don't like you know, sticks on meat and whatnot, but what about fish sticks?
That's different though.
the sticks are gross.
You don't
stink.
you don't like putting fish sticks in your mouth?
No.
Huh.
Do you like it to smell like fish
I like fish sticks
in your mouth?
in my mouth.
Not me.
Put it in your mouth.
Really? No, I love fish in my mouth
Oh,
In your
fucking
motherfucking
mouth.
all day long,
mouth.
24/7.
Back to you.
Got rice? Got rice, bitch.
Anyways.
That's how you get hairs on
I
your
remember
face.
that Got Rice bitch song, that rap.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, bro, back in the day. Listen to some dumb stuff back in the day, just thinking it was cool and edgy because they said horrible stuff. I can't remember. There's some song by the group called Pussy Riot. I used to crank that one up.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird
Yeah,
name.
man.
Oh yeah.
I thought the name
Well-
Hole was a weird name for a band. Hole.
There are
Or
a lot
the
of
butt.
stupid names for bands. The
Butthole- my-
Butthole Surfers.
Listen, when my dad was alive,
Butthole
he always,
Surfers, that's
when
a
I
good-
would tell him about the Butthole Surfers, I used to say, "Hey, Dad," because my dad was a big like a Beavis and Butthead guy. Everything was funny, right? Anything that had to do with poop, like poop jokes and stuff. I told him, I was like, "Dude, there's literally a name of a band called the Butthole Surfers, and there's a name of a band called Hole." He didn't believe me. He thought I was making it up. I was like, "I swear to God, on my life."
Dude, I knew an
Hey.
Oriental girl for real. Her name was Fuck Me, which is F-U-K, then
Oh my
M-E-I.
gosh. I could have been her name. Oh, her parents were so
Can you
mean.
imagine calling
would-
Dr. Fuck Me, calling Dr. Fuck Me? I'm
Are
like,
you Randy,
wow.
babe?
Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard.
Paging Mr. Herman. Mr.
Sorry, I
Herman,
went.
you have a
I go
telephone
Three
call at the
Stooges on
front
everybody.
desk.
I
We're
like
like-
chorizo.
we have
I
no
like
structure today,
chorizo
guys.
paws. Chorizo paws.
Chorizo's a Mexican sausage, and he's just saying pause for the sake of saying pause. You said something before that. Your dad was a Beavis and Butthead fan?
Low
Or you
key.
were Beavis?
Low key.
Wow.
So what would happen was, my mom wouldn't be around, and he'd be like, "Here, turn on." So I turn it on, right?
Incognito, you guys watch Beavis
Right,
and Butthead
and then
together.
she'd come by, and he'd be like, "Your son." He's telling my mom, "Your son is the one who." I'm like, You son of a he used to get me in trouble because my mom didn't like it back then because they were a little off color, I guess. Yeah. He used to do though at wrestling too, like back when the Attitude Era, the bra and panty matches and stuff. He'd be watching stuff and he'd be like, "Your son put it on there." I'm like, "No, I didn't." And then he would try to lie. All my mom would do is feel the top of the TV where it was hot, and like she's like, "I know you were watching wrestling." Sure enough, she turns it on. It's on.
She'd sense the heat from the television.
You could not fool my mom.
10 seconds ago.
Yeah. He was into that, like just goofy stuff. Yeah, he didn't believe that there was a name of a band called Butthole Surfers.
Did you guys ever watch the Howard Stern show together? The old school Howard Stern show. Okay.
He knew about Beetlejuice though.
Beetlejuice. Gotta love Beat.
I love Beetlejuice for many reasons, but let's see it. What else do we got left?
Every community has a Beetlejuice. Every community.
Yeah, we have a Beetlejuice,
especially on YouTube. But 49ers. One of the last things I'll say is the 49ers adjusted cap space right now gives them the third most in the NFL at $237.5 million. Effectively,
though,
Parag
did it, man. I don't know how he did it.
I don't know. Some people are saying it still puts us around $8 million. Somebody else says it puts us around. I don't know exactly where it puts us around, but yeah, we have the third most cap space saved, I guess, in the NFL. I don't know if it's like a weird. It's not exactly what we think it is. It's not cap space, but adjusted cap space that we have. We're number 3, so we'll see, man. The Niners need to make some moves because they gotta do something either in the draft or in free agency about their lines, offensive and defensive. They gotta do some make, like Beto says, if they're gonna do a move, go for a big name, someone who can move the needle. Beto's not a fan of like putting a bunch of guys and having a bunch of guys. He wants the guy, and I agree with that too. I want
somebody that competes with Nick Bosa and puts the pressure. I don't want would you rather have Frank, whatever that guy's name you said?
Oh, I'd take Frank Clark in a heartbeat.
Or 2 or 3 Sampsons.
No, I would take Frank Clark in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
Because he has kind of an attitude and he's a little bit kind of a malcontent. We have too many nice guys on our team. Him and Greenlaw would be like great because they're kind of they take us into the unlikable zone because they have personalities that you don't really like. They go play past the whistle, but we're
I don't know. I think Greenlaw kind of got some bad rap. I think he's physical.
Greenlaw can push things a little far, but I love that about him.
I think there was a couple times where like he got a personal roughing the pass, something like that, out of bounds where he fell on a guy, right? To me, I think he fell. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't anything other than him just falling. You know what I mean? And they were just like, "Oh, he touched him." You know what I mean? So certain things, I think they're actually looking for things, and they're more willing to throw flags on him than other people because they're looking out for him.
Yeah, once you develop possibly a reputation, whether it's justified or not, you're always going to be in the eyes of the officials. Dennis Rodman back in the day. Yes, he could get people pissed off and stuff, and yes, he would do stuff. So yeah, he always had he's like Draymond is now. Same kind of player. I don't even follow Warriors basketball, but I know Draymond Green is he's a little bit of a lightning rod type player. But teams need that. You can't have a bunch of choir boys. You need some meanness on some of your guys. Like David McNider says, we need some mean mother effers. So I agree.
I totally take Frank Clark. We need that. And we need to rub off onto a guy like Drake Jackson. Perhaps maybe it'll bring out better play in him. Who knows?
Allegedly, Steve-O says, I like my woman thicker than a Snicker. I like him thicker in the bottom half. But anyways, guys, I do
beauty,
like.
Damn, she thick.
It's all about the dumper. Anybody got anything going on their channels this week that they want to promote right now? By the way, chat, next week we are going to be on No Border Sports channel. The link to his channel is in the description. We're going to kind of go around the mulberry bush here. We're not going to always be on my channel on Mondays.
The link to the show is in the description. So
the link to the show is in.
Also,
Yep.
hit the subscribe, please, while you're there, and the like button while you're doing the little thing. Go in there, hit all the little things. We'll get it all going.
Yeah, we want
Ready.
to start spreading the love of the NWO show. Plus, I get to relax once in a while. Yeah.
Sir, so I'm gonna have Pete from Nighter Fanatic podcast tomorrow on my channel. I
Nice.
didn't have a soul stream on my channel last week. Sorry, but this week, so tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST, Pete from Nighter Fanatic podcast doesn't have a big following, but he's a great guy. He's very knowledgeable. It's gonna be a real fun conversation. So I'm excited to have him on.
Ryan?
I should be on tomorrow with Beto and Mariah from
Nice.
49er Faithfully podcast. And I believe Waruna and I are going live on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for all that.
Waruna Pereira.
Beto, what you got going on this week, my man?
Thursdays. Thursdays at 7
Thursday.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the 49ers podcast network going on. And then on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have my trivia night show. And then I've been busy this week. I've been helping a friend of mine. He's a Raider fan, and I've been helping him in the background. And it's
Yeah, you
like,
told me that. Help him with do all the.
that is very,
Helping
very
a Raider fan. What
yeah,
are you
he's a
doing
good
there,
friend
buddy?
of mine. It's very consuming.
The
So
He's the one
Raiders
that gave-
suck.
He's the one that gave you all that 49ers memorabilia, right?
no.
Oh, well, then don't help him. Then.
Who's that?
No, if it was the guy who's
No.
giving you all the stuff from and let you side the I-beam or whatever in his place, you know what I mean? I'd say go ahead. You know, that's.
Oh no,
that's-
that's not him.
Oh well, then don't do it.
No, of course he's a friend of mine.
Just messing. I'm just messing.
Did you
Let
see,
him know we-
He's very
friend?
computer illiterate, so it's, I have
Oh.
I have to help him.
Yeah,
with
of course.
that.
He's a Raider fan.
Oh wow.
I got.
That's good, guys.
I have the
True, but I'm jacked up.
TED Talks ball stream this week. We're
I know
still
it
trying to
sounds like you
figure
said
out.
I want to touch Ted's balls next week.
We're gonna,
boy.
yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. I don't know. It's first
We're
and
gonna touch
Ted.
on Ted's
Dip it in the
It's either gonna-
sauce.
It's going to be on mine or either Ted's channel. We'll let you guys know exactly where it's going to be. I'm also working on a show with RSF 49ers Raj, a weekly show. It's kind of in the works. And also Sterling Bennett. He is 95.7 The Game. He's the producer, and he also is the host of the 49er XS podcast. We're working on something too. So, trying to give you guys a little variety, but at the same time, give you stuff that you're used to. And then Fridays with me and Beto, it really depends on the news. If we get some other breaking stuff, maybe we find out about Purdy's surgery fallout Friday evening, then we'll definitely have some stuff to talk about. And we'll be getting closer to free agency too. Maybe we'll get some smoke to whether the Niners are going to be big players and stuff. So, yeah, definitely some stuff going on this week. Again, next week, we are going to be on No Border Sports channel. Not
Check the
here.
description.
Check the description. The link to the show is in there. I'll share it on the community tab. We'll all share it in our community tabs. And then we'll probably go ring around the rosy with everybody's channel, kind of give everybody a shot at this. As it should have been from the beginning. It shouldn't have just been on my channel. So everybody have a great night. Oh, go
I
ahead.
want all the smoke.
I was just saying it's kind of nice because we did the show here. Everybody kind of used to coming here. You know what I mean? Everybody, and then we could just move it
Yeah.
around. Everybody's kind
And
of
it
used
could
to
be,
it.
and it might have a different style to it. It might not be as vanilla like I like to do things. Maybe there's a little bit more variety. Maybe there's a giveaway. Maybe there's, I don't know. We'll see. But everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you guys later, and go Niners.